Yeah, we ain't doing that. We are not doing that. We are not doing that. All right, y'all. Hold on. Let me turn this up. Just gotta fix something. Okay. All right, let me back that up a little bit. Let me back that up.
24 draft. This past January was inducted into the Huskies of Honor, one of just 24 players in UConn's history. They don't retire many numbers in stores because it's the elite of the elite.
Is there enough room?
But to make that Huskies of Honor, to be one of 24, given the success of that program,
Yeah.
that speaks volumes. Second quarter underway. Sun with Griner, Leisure Walker, Rivers, Morrow, and Angloma on the floor. Nell Angloma flies inside and is fouled. What a cut to the basket. They found her.
Ellen Gloma, so much potential for her. You know, Coach Metzion is very excited about what she can bring to it. And, you know, she's still just recently coming up.
Yeah. Nell, Nell is 5'11", close to 6 feet. To me, she looks 5'10", but she's listed as 5'11". Strong, physical, can operate on 3 levels, but is really good at 2 levels. She's a combo guard as well, but you can also play her at the wing position because she's pretty physical at the wing position. She plays solid defense. She's physical. She's also a physical slasher too. So with a lot of upside, a lot of potential. She's poised and measured how she does things. And so she plays a more cerebral kind of a game. And like, that's what she does. But listen, that's what he needed. He runs a European style of offense as well, like Fernandez does. But he does do a lot of up-tempo, read and react, ball movement. He is someone who will make sure he doesn't want you to focus on 1 or 2 primary scorers. So he believes in making sure that you share the load with scoring responsibilities. He believes in fluid passing. He wants to use or utilize as much of the roster as he can. And obviously he wants to do maybe 1 or 2 isolation scores he would want out there at times, definitely European style. And yeah, that's essentially what it is. Move the basketball. He wants a lot of fluid basketball movement. He'll play up tempo, read and react. He wants more than just 1 scorer. He'll go deep into his bench. He would want a couple really good ISO players out there as well. And like, that's just sort of what it is, man. But anyway, let's finish. Now, I already told you about Portland. Portland runs a constraints-led approach system with Alex Sarama, and you're going to see players have the freedom to essentially do whatever they want to do on offense, how they see fit. He'll only call plays a couple times a game, maybe 3 times a game. Everything else will be up to the players to decide what do they see, what do they like. Yeah, they'll spread you out. They'll do ISO. As you can see, try to get downhill. On defense, it's chaos. It's a lot of woman to woman. If they play zone, they're playing the passing lanes. They're very disruptive. They're blitzing you. Hard hedges, blitzes, 94 feet at times, all in your face. It's chaotic. And that's just what it is. So that's constraints-led approach. You'll see offhand layups. You'll see a lot of ISO. You'll see players figuring out on their own, making their own decisions. You'll see a lot of hard cutting. a lot of unorthodox things with their cuts and with some of their screens. And that's just for the floor in the game. But in practice is where CLA really matters. Okay, in practice, that's where CLA really counts, right? So CLA in practice is unique things like having players to make a decision in 6 seconds, but you only give them a 3 dribble limit, three dribble limit. Okay, shrinking the court and running 5x5 full plays, full speed. Having players to be defended by male practice players with full physicality and really trying to block your shots. Shooting in socks or your bare feet. Trying to create uncomfortable shots so when you get into a game, it's comfortable for you in any scenario. Just a bunch of unique ways to train and all sorts of things like that. Constraints-led approach. So anyway, let's get to it.
Griner to touch the ball.
Shot clock winds. Sutton has to get it up and scores. Showed Sutton is on the board for Portland. She's the biggest lead of the game, 4.
That says a lot for how tight they've kept this one.
Rack attack by Haley Van Lith. Scooters in for 2.
Haley Van Lith has always been a confident shooter. And another thing about Haley is that she can create her own shot. I think coaches love when you've got a player that can do that.
Haley Van Lith played in 172 collegiate games, an NCAA record. Carlton wide open.
All right, Bridget. Nice.
The hustle play and
There it is. She needed to see that. Let's go.
And Sarah Ashley Parker, my God, she is just everywhere. I mean,
So we're dealing with another sellout. Every home game, it was either 19,000 or close to 19,000. So, or a little over 19,000. So Portland is showing Golden State, you're not the only one. Portland is dominating with attendance. So you'll see attendance spike in a WNBA this season, overall attendance. And that's going to be because of Portland. It's really going to increase it. So far, I mean, they're averaging over 19K a game. So Portland is really, really showing up. And it's this fast-paced basketball. It's freelance. It's fun. The defense is all in your face, everything. So it's really interesting, fun basketball. And once they get comfortable with constraints-led approach, they're going to be really difficult to beat. And they might make a trade or two. That's Holly Wintermern, who Atlanta cut when she was boarding the bus, getting on the bus, cold-blooded.
days into the year, Ashley.
She also played with the London Lions with Megan Gustafson, and they won a championship a couple seasons ago.
He's never going to find the shortness of that with Anissa Morrow on the court. Her effort level is always next level compared to everyone.
She's making it difficult for the coach to take her out.
Absolutely.
Bounce pass by Miller, knocked away, back in her hand, shot clock to 4. Skip pass, Morrow has to fire. Morrow, swish!
Yeah, so Anissa Morrow is very confident. She played in Athletes Unlimited, which was the most competitive it's ever been, with the most WNBA players in history. A 40 player league with 36 WNBA players. And she won Rookie of the Year or newcomer, best newcomer. And so she's really confident, really confident.
2-point lead, and how about Anissa Morrow?
Anissa Morrow.
And Sarah Ashley Barker also played in Athletes Unlimited this past season and was very impressive. She had a really good season. So I bring that up to say, historically, in their 5-year history, whenever you play in Athletes Unlimited, if you had a good Athletes Unlimited season, it always carried over to the WNBA season and your career took off. You got even better and you just never look back. It's been that way all 5 years. All 5 years. Let's look at some of these. Well, I can't look at stats right now. I can't do that right now because I'm casting this. But there's always, so I can always go to Grok and I can get live updates from Grok. I can get more detail than if I went to Google. So, or I can go to Gemini. It's doing this because this phone is hot. It's freaking hot, son. Yeah, this phone is hot. Super hot. All right, so I gotta do this until.
I'm not ready for deep. I'm in goofy.
The Sun and Anthem Carillon RX are working to support children in Connecticut for every and one at home. $100 donated to Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater New Haven. Anissa Morrow, a handful of and ones early. 10 points here in the first half through 4 games, Tarika. Already 3 double-doubles. You see at the bottom of your screen, last season did not etch a third double-double until mid-August.
All she needed to do was get comfortable. Because this is not new for Anissa. She's been this type of player her entire career in college. We saw it at LSU before coming into the league, and all she needed to do was get comfortable. She also spent her offseason playing at Athletes Unlimited, and there were certain things that she said she wanted to work on. You can see the impact that has made on her so early on this season.
And to quote a great podcast, there are levels to this.
There are levels to this. I wonder who hosts that show.
I gotta think on it.
Yeah.
And Sarah Williams at the line, spent 1 year at UConn for her senior campaign. Born in Brooklyn, grew up in Brooklyn, moved to Toronto 8 years ago, and now in Portland. Connecticut with Griner, Miller, Van Lith, Morrow, and Burke.
Much better job here trying to get out and defend the perimeter.
Winterburn on the cut.
That's a real good hang dribble from Holly Winterburn. That is almost like freaking Jordan Harrison hang dribble. That's a damn good hang dribble from Holly Winterburn. Very good hang dribble. It's really that's a luxury to have her on your team because she's so experienced with professional basketball overseas. So that's real good pickup from them. Atlanta is crazy letting her go, but really good pickup, real good pickup.
A great example of what impact EG has.
That is exactly why we need her, because the game just changes defensively when she's got the rim.
So I want to say this, when you watch Portland, you're not gonna see anything that looks like it's structured. You're going to see women who have been given the freedom to call plays on their own, however they see fit. It's essentially the highest level of read and react. It's the ultimate green light. It's the ultimate freedom. And in the CLA, with that system, what you do is the coaches rarely ever call design plays. Unless it's a serious situational deal, a serious ATO, it has to be something serious. But you may see Alex Sarama call maybe 4 design plays this whole game. Maybe 4. Okay, they want you to figure it out on your own. Unless it's serious, he'll call a design play. And on defense, it's woman to woman. It's switch everything. They're all in your face. They're playing in passing lanes. They're hard hedging. They're blowing up screens. They're blitzing you. They're trapping you 94 feet at times, half court traps. Every now and again, you'll see them with a matchup zone. But if they're in a zone, they're always going to be playing in passing lanes and just going to be really aggressive. And that's just sort of the way. On offense, they want to eliminate as many mid-range shots as possible. So it's more traditional gate in space or pace in space. What you would see in the NBA, where they eliminate the mid-range game. He mainly wants shots at the rim or threes. And that's essentially what that is. And so these players will read and react on their own. But it's not read and react. It's the highest level of react because it's 90+% freestyle basketball. And what that does, it throws a traditional team off because they're used to you running certain plays, certain offenses that they're familiar with. And when you don't run those offenses, they don't know what kind of defense to use against you. This is why Portland has been in every game. They've obviously won. They got 1 win or 2 wins, and like they've been in every single game. Why? Because you can't get a handle on what's an anomaly, what you're unfamiliar with, right? So yeah, that's sort of what it is, man. That's why it's really hard to figure out Portland. And this is why a lot of coaches in the NBA and even overseas, they hate on CLA. They hate on it because they can't figure it out. There's no defense for it, right? Now, New York did really good in the second half because they just ran like 80+% zone defense. And so it threw them off a little bit. But yeah, you're essentially going to have to go heavy zone. You're essentially going to have to go heavy zone, man. If you don't go heavy zone, you might be in some trouble. You might be in some trouble, man. All right, let me turn this up.
Potentially tonight. The ball, Sun has a squad. Woeful at the line early, 3 of 7. Griner, career 80% free throw shooter.
Did we jinx it? Did we say that?
No.
Okay. I'm always nervous about that kind of thing.
I brought the percentage up after the free throws.
You did.
To not be accused of such thing. Still Sun possession. Griner guarded by Gustafson. Deep in the paint. Spray it out. Van Lith, 3-pointer. Too strong. Rivers battles for it. Second chance opportunity. Burke feeds Van Lith back up.
So that was one of the few times they were in a zone defense. That was a matchup zone. That was a 3-2 matchup zone. And when you play matchup zones, you're supposed to play drop coverage, which is what they did because they don't respect their 3-point shooters except for Kennedy Burke. And so that's why they played matchup zone but drop coverage. So that's what happened. That was a 3-2.
How about the defense? They unite. Van Lith scoops up the loose ball, drives it, and scores.
How about that pass? What in the world was that pass? That was great.
Kennedy Burke with another steal in the early part of the year. Burke now up to 5 steals in 5 games. Reaching foul by Van Lith.
I mean, I'm still over here trying to figure out how she even got that to Haley Van Lith because she not only was in front of it, but it was a no-look behind the back pass, and Haley was just right there for it. I mean, listen, if Rashid's talking about building continuity, well, you can't be more in sync with your teammate than that.
That's how Connecticut wants to score points, is offensive defense. Almost kind of theft there, but a foul is called.
Yeah, so it's just real hard to get a grasp on Portland because they don't run any traditional offense. They don't run. Everything is on the fly. They figure it out. Each player has the freedom. They have complete autonomy. They have the total freedom to do whatever they want to do. It's highly capricious. And that's why you can't get a handle on it. Coaches would love for you to run a 5-out because they know how to defend a 5-out. They would love you to run a 4-out-1 because they know how to defend it. There's a defense for it. There's a defense for a UCLA offense. There's a defense for the Princeton offense. There's a defense for a high pick and roll offense, right? So there's a defense for the triangle offense. Like, they know they want you to be traditional. And then they would know how to defend you. You don't know how to defend CLA. That's why any team that uses the CLA methodology, philosophy, principles, they are normally high scoring, like Cleveland Cavaliers and other teams, or you go overseas, or you look at Duke. So this is the first time in women's basketball that constraints-led approach has ever been utilized for a team. It's the first time in history in women's basketball anywhere in the world. And once Portland gets a hold of it, that includes practice, they're going to be really difficult to beat. Really difficult to beat.
At the rim. Engsler, one of the league leaders in block shots in the early part of the year. Tarika, good one here back and forth.
We got a good one here back and forth, and this game is going to be full of surprises, just like that pass. More to come after the break.
No, I like how Connecticut is fighting really hard because they don't want to go out like that. You know, they don't want to go down 0-5. So they're trying to figure this thing out. But Portland also, they don't want to lose to a team with a nasty losing record like that. And they want to win for their fans as well. So this is going to be a heavy game. It's going to be a heavy game right here, as you can see. So, yeah, that's serious. That's pretty serious. All right. I'll get back to it. There's still a game break. So what I'll do this, right? As soon as they let me know, because this thing is... The best way to describe... Oops, come on, baby. CLA. Come on, baby. Is almost like trying to catch a football covered in oil on a rainy day. Defenses or teams have a hard time defending it. All right, we'll get back to it, you guys. We'll get back to it. Let me just let Grok load this up and then I'll get back to the game. Look, that's spot on. Vivid way to put it. So we'll get back to Grok with this in a minute. But I told y'all, Portland is going to be so difficult to beat once they get a nice handle on CLA. They're going to be it's going to be very difficult to beat the Portland Fire. Very difficult. Okay, let's go.
7 for the Fire.
And of course, that is credited to who? Aaliyah Edwards, being everywhere, doing everything on both ends of the floor, but specifically defensively, giving her team some additional motivation here.
Kennedy Burke and Aaliyah Edwards each with 2 steals and 4 to shoot. It is nearly stolen by Geiselsuiter, but there was contact.
Yeah, I told you, like, they're going to be all over you. If they're playing a matchup zone, they still won't let you breathe. If it's woman to woman, you're really not breathing. That's just how it is.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the half. Rivers in the triple threat position. Koch switches on. The double comes. Skip pass to Burke. Touch pass to Van Lith. Jab step, fire it, and drill it.
Yeah, that's good. She could shoot over Suge Sutton easy.
Shot and not being afraid to go after it. You see, when you start hitting shots like that, you make it very difficult for this team to defend on the bench. Now they have to open up and they can't bring that double team inside like they've been doing. They've got to look out for it.
Open 3 on the other end. Sutton nearly climbed the ladder, still Portland ball. Haley Van Lith is now 7 of her first 12 from three-point land.
Yeah, Haley Van Lith is playing with a scorer's mentality right now. And I mean, she started showing that again against the Aces on Friday. She was just really efficient offensively, especially late in that game. Showed a lot of confidence, and I think that's why they were able to pick her up and why they kept her on this roster past training camp. She started the season in Chicago, but listen, Rasheed Bethany's gonna take all the help.
Nah, Tarika, you got that wrong. She wasn't with their training camp. She wasn't in training camp with them. She was with Chicago. And Chicago waived her, and then they picked her up.
Come on now, that's not easy.
That's not easy at all. I mean, you see her do this, right? You saw her when she was playing at TCU. And
That's true.
Florida
Collegiate stops, yeah.
Like, she does it. She shows up when she shows up.
Van Lith, her second career start tonight. 17 against the Aces Friday, new career high. There's a leadership on display, just 24 years old. It's such a great point by you. 3 stops in college. You have to know how to adapt to the transfer portal era, too.
You can go anywhere, right?
That's a great point. Reunites with Anissa Morrow.
That's
They were
right.
teammates at LSU. More free throws here after a foul by Burke. Her second.
So that's Emily Angstler at the free throw line. Great defender, very athletic, can play multiple positions. And she was drafted in the top 5 by the Indiana Fever. And the Fever waived her to tank for Caitlin Clark, cold-blooded.
And make you pay. Not that time. Chase down by Edwards to save it. Rather Burke. Sun push it up the other end, and they score. That's Edwards for 2.
Aaliyah Edwards, she has been the motor for them. 8 points for her tonight. She's 4 of 4 from the field. But when you get her the ball, she's making things happen. So you've got to continually, find a way to keep her active in offense.
This lineup has produced Edwards and Morrow in the front court with Burke, Van Lith.
Okay, so they decided to do a 5 out. Nice paint and spray. Miyadu, nice chase. Yeah, Bridget, you gotta complete those, Bridget. Don't foul her, Louisa. Yeah, so all of this is what they want to do. He's not calling any plays, no one. They're just figuring this out on their own. And it builds natural organic chemistry, and they'll start calling the right stuff based off of each player, what their strengths and their weaknesses and what they see on the court in terms of the defense, as it pertains to the defense. And then it will become more fluid. It'll be simpatico. It will be more efficient. And that's what it is. So everything you're seeing them doing, it's on their own. On their own. They decided to do a 5 out. That's what they wanted to do. But one thing he wants you to do, he wants some ball, he wants cutting, he wants motion. That's one of the principles of it. He wants a lot of motion too. So let me go back to this, and then I could break down CLA a little bit more for you. Let's go back. So I said the best way to describe CLA is almost like it's almost like trying to catch a football covered in oil on a rainy day. Teams have a hard time defending it. And Grok says that's spot on. Vivid way to put it. The constraints-led approach is slippery as hell for traditional defenses and coaches to handle because it doesn't train players in isolated, predictable drills. It throws them into messy game-like chaos with built-in rules that force constant adaptation. Why the oily football in the rain analogy nails it? Traditional coaching equals clean step-by-step reps in perfect conditions. You drill a route, a block, a tackle the right way over and over. CLA, you tweak the environment. For example, limited touches, smaller spaces, uneven numbers, time pressure, or weird rules. So athletes have to problem solve on the fly. It mimics the unpredictable crap that actually happens in games. Slippery fields, tired bodies, chaotic decisions. Defenses struggle because the players emerge more instinctive and creative. They don't freeze when plans break. They thrive in the mess. It's like trying to tackle a guy who's been trained to slip through gaps you don't even know existed, or you didn't even know existed. This method has roots in ecological dynamics and motor learning research. It's gained traction in pro and college sports, soccer, basketball, baseball, and increasingly American football for developing game intelligence over robotic technique. Players like Victor Wembanyama or Shohei Ohtani have been linked to similar constraints-based training philosophies. If you're implementing this with a team or just geeking out on coaching trends, it's revolutionary for skill acquisition, but requires coaches to let go of control and embrace variability. The oil plus rain factor makes it tough to scheme against because your opponent isn't playing the same rigid game you prep for. And that's why I was telling you guys, it's going to be so hard to beat Portland when they get comfortable with CLA because there is no defense for it. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no defense for it. And all 5 players on the floor are essentially offensive game coordinators, right? They know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they assess. They know what the defense is in, and they all come with their own plays on the fly. And so there is no defense for it because you don't know what they're going to do on offense anytime they're on offense. And right. And so this is what it is. So you can't say, hey, let's play a 2-3. Let's play a 3-2. Let's do a 1-3-1. Let's do a triangle and 2. Let's do woman to woman. You just don't know what they're going to do. So that's why they beat New York the first time. The second game, New York said, we're just going to run zone like damn near 90% of the time. We're going to do matchup zone. You saw New York, I swear, dog. New York didn't know what to do, so they ran matchup zone damn near 90% of the time. New York would start out in a 1-3-1, and depending where the ball moved, it'll switch to a 2-3. Then it'll switch to a 3-2. Then it was an X zone. That's a 2-1-2. Then it was a 1-2-2. Right? New York was all over the place. Everything was matchup zone all of the time. That's the only way that they were able to beat Portland. And Portland still could have ended up winning that game. But that's the way it is. That's the way it is. It's wild like that. It's wild like that. You can't figure it out. You can't figure it out. So what I want to do, Portland Fire will be difficult to beat once they get comfortable with CLA. All right, absolutely. Once the Portland Fire click with CLA under Alex Sarama, they're going to be a nightmare for the rest of the WNBA. So this is why when I was doing when I was talking about all teams, and I broke all the teams down before training camp, and I said, I'm not going to judge Portland until after the first quarter of the season. That's the first 11 games, okay? Because I need them to get time to figure out CLA. And once they figure out CLA, they're going to throw a lot of teams off guard. You could potentially look up and Portland would be in the playoffs. Okay, so I said I'm not going to judge Portland because women's basketball, they've never seen CLA used for a team. Now, women train with the CLA principles and methodology individually, like Kelsey Plum, but no team in women's basketball ever in the world has ever used CLA as a team. And so it's such an anomaly that there's no way you could defend it, right? And you'll end up getting a lot of wins because of it. So they got Portland bottom in the power rankings when the season first started. I was like, wait a second, that's not right. So anyway, absolutely. Once Portland Fire click with CLA under Alex Sarama, they're going to be a nightmare for the rest of the WNBA. They're still in the early process, 1-2 record as of mid-May in their expansion debut season. So there's that initial oily football phase where everything feels slippery and uncoordinated. But that's exactly how it works with constraints-led approach. Early chaos gives way to serious adaptability and creativity. While they'll become tough to beat, player autonomy over rigid systems. So this is when I told you that they call their own plays and the coaches will only call maybe 3 or 4 plays the entire game. Player autonomy over rigid systems. Sarama's philosophy pulled from his time with the Cavs and his own work on CLA emphasizes game-like environments with manipulated constraints, space, numbers, rules, timing, instead of repetitive drills. Players learn to read and react in real time rather than waiting for set plays. Opponents prep for X out of Y actions, but get a team that's improvising solutions on the fly. Expansion advantage. New roster, no old habits to break. Sarama and the GM, Vanja, could build the entire culture around this from day one. Veterans like Megan Gustafson have already spoken positively about the growth in camp. Long-term edge, as they get comfortable, expect more unscripted basketball, better decision-making under fatigue, tighter team synergies, and fewer predictable tendencies. Other teams relying on traditional systems might look rigid by comparison. It's still in its early days, and there will be growing pains. But if Sarama's visions lands, Portland could reshape how the league approaches player development and in-game problem solving. Yeah, and so like that's what I was highlighting. Like this thing is hard to figure out, man. And I'm trying to tell you, Cleveland is still using it. They just don't have Alex Sarama, but they're still using it. And you see Cleveland in the NBA, they're still successful. So that's what it is. So I say hold off on judging Portland because once they figure this thing out, it's going to be over with. And people were judging them because it's an expansion team. These are players that really don't pop out to them. They think these are kind of low tier players. It's not about necessarily the players. It's the system. It's the methodology. Okay. It's the principles. It's how they train. And they have enough talent in order to operate it really, really well. Right. And so that's what it's now. You can imagine once they get big time names on the team, it's really going to be amazing. But yeah, that's what it is, man. It's versatile players who can do multiple things, hybrid players, shapeshifters, and in a system where it's 100% unpredictable on offense and defense. And how they train is just wild, right? So I can show you. They're still at halftime, you guys. So I can show you this. Watch this. I love the 6-second 3 dribble rule in practice. Come on, baby. He uses. Watch this. I said, Rube, I said to say in practice. All right. That 6'7" 3 dribble constraint is pure Sarama genius. It's one of those simple tweaks that creates massive chaos and learning in a tiny window. So he does this to increase your decision making to make you very efficient, right? All right. So it's one of those simple tweaks that creates massive chaos and learning in a tiny window. From what he shared in practices and resources, he loves throwing in ultra short clocks, often 6 seconds or even 3, combined with dribble limits, 2-3 dribbles max. In small-sided games or finishing drills, it forces players to make split decisions instead of dribbling into their bag. Attack with purpose right off the catch. Hunt advantages immediately, dive, pass, or shoot without wasting time or motion. Get comfortable in messy game-like situations where the clock is always ticking. Sarah Ashley Barker talked about similar setups in a recent interview. Constraints like only 2 dribbles or 1 dribble on finishes with varying defenders and rules. Left hand only, etc. It keeps every rep unpredictable so nothing feels scripted. Why it works so well in CLA? Specificity. Mimics the real speed of WNBA possessions where you don't have time to survey forever. Problem solving. Players experiment with solutions under pressure. For example, quick pivots, early passes, or creative finishes, rather than repeating perfect technique. Adaptability. Once they internalize it, they read defenses faster and play with more flow in full 24-second games. It's that oily football effect again. Opponents expect structure, but Portland starts playing with this built-in urgency and creativity. Early season growing pains are expected, but when it clicks, watch out. And that's why I said, once I saw Alex Sarama was their head coach, and I knew he runs that CLA system, I said, I'm not judging Portland. I'm not judging Portland until after the first quarter of the season. And then by that time, they would have figured out CLA, and then we can move on after that. But I'm trying to tell y'all, once they figure this thing out and they get comfortable with it, it's going to be extremely difficult to beat Portland. And you might look up and they could be the 7th or 8th seed, and it's going to blow everyone's mind. If everything is ideal, if they stay healthy. All right, let's get back to it.
Of 9 shooting, 18 points. Take a look at first half stats. We mentioned it, Sun, 58% shooting, held Portland to 40%. Fire, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league coming in. The Sun did their job, more so in that second quarter, guarding the arc.
Absolutely. Perimeter defense has been one of those Achilles heels for this team early on, but today they're doing a much better job of it. And then, if you look in the paint, when they were playing Las Vegas last week, they allowed them to eat and live in the paint. So far, so good today.
First half highlights are presented by Yale New Haven Health. Thank you, Yale New Haven Health, for supporting the Sun with the greatest of care.
And listen, Aaliyah Edwards has been incredibly careful about how she's been trying to pick this defense apart. And then she's doing it everywhere. Getting the ball inside, hitting up easy layups. She's also getting that physicality going, being able to back down her defenders, I mean, when you don't see the ball running through Aaliyah Edwards, it's because it's running through Anissa Morrow. The Beast has showed up in Portland, and she's been doing a bit of everything. Not only is she rebounding, but she is using her body to pick her defenders apart and get inside early. You love this, and you love that this is the way that this team is starting to establish themselves in time offense.
He's the Beast and Morrow the Menace. I don't know if you can get that coin or not, but outstanding offense by the Sun. Hitting 26 points in the paint of their 42 total in the first half. Tarika and the Sun shot 68% from the floor in the painted area, 13 and 19.
Anybody else uses that catchphrase, Brendan, we are absolutely taking it to the league.
We'll work on it. As far as Portland's concerned, Emily Ensler, fifth-year pro from New York City, This is her 4th stop in the W. There's many players on this Portland roster selected in the expansion draft. Seen for Toronto with Tempo, one of 2 new franchises in the league. Portland, of course, reignited being in the league from 2000 to 2002. They recognized former Fire at halftime. Legacy Reignited game is what they're calling it. Emily Exler had 10 points in that first half. Bridget Carlton, who we highlighted off the top, held to 4 points.
I was just thinking that, one of the things that Connecticut has done well is to keep Bridget Carlton from being active as she could be. She's a player that can really change the landscape of the game, but she's shooting 2 of 7 from the field right now, 0 of 4 from 3, only 4 points so far in this matchup. So they're doing a good job of trying to contain her, which is something that Rasheed Mezion basically said they needed to do in order to try to beat this team.
And Liv slithered to open up space. Wider efforts on.
Yeah, Emily Angsler is so athletic, y'all. She is so athletic. Do y'all see her balance? Indiana is crazy waving her, and it made no sense except they were tanking for Caitlin Clark. And it was just wow, man. And then she goes to Athletes Unlimited and wins Defensive Player of the Year and just takes off. So, yeah, it was just crazy. And then the excuse was, we need people who fit our system. Emily fits any system, right? No, just come out and just say you were tanking for Caitlin. And then the truth comes out in behind the scenes vid on YouTube where Lynn Dunn is saying, hey, do you guys still think we can get Caitlin? This is after they got Aaliyah. And they said, do you still think we can get Caitlin? It was like, yeah. And I was like, didn't I tell y'all they were surreptitiously tanking for Caitlin? It's crazy, man. They got rid of Emily Angsler, Queen Egbo, everyone, and blew that roster up so they could tank for Caitlin. Crazy.
Kleiner spins and hits. Podge said in April, let's just go over there and see what happens. She said she felt she was absolutely ready at 21 years old to face pros. She faces them daily in the WNBA. Meanwhile, Griner's got 6 points, now 11 from 6,000 in her career.
I think as we talk about this game evolving and growing, we have to continue to make sure that we recognize that a lot of our international players that are coming over here as rookies have been playing professionally for years, and that's why they are comfortable with coming in and making an instant impact.
Pro ready. They play adults.
They play
over
adults.
there in Europe.
Grown.
At such a young age, in their early teenage years.
19 years old, Not even longer than we were at 19 longer.
Olympic teams.
Olympic teams, but they're back.
Carlton erupted to the hoop, and Sutton snatches the basketball to block at midcourt.
See, I told you, they're all over you. They're freaking mosquitoes. They're all over you, man. They're thirsty, bloodthirsty mosquitoes on a July night with the degrees. The temperature is freaking 96 degrees at 9 o'clock at night in the South. Those type of bloodthirsty mosquitoes, like serious, where the humidity is through the roof, right? Like that's how it is with them. Even if they play zone, every passing lane, they're blitzing, whatever it is, they're not letting you breathe. They're not letting you breathe, man.
Serves. You get a chance to eat. That's no disrespect to anyone individually, but you're
not allowing you to breathe.
Coach and personnel on the other team. Get ready for this beast coming off our bench.
Right.
Who's going to take matters into her own hands.
Absolutely.
She's embraced it. Hodge does extend. Old board. Ansler's put back, no good. Still Portland ball. We said at halftime, just shoot the breeze. Whole team playing so hard in Portland. Alex Sarama, new to the league, was in Cleveland with the Cowboys.
And you see, hold on.
It's his group to play off.
Absolutely. Actually, this team had already established themselves as a team that can run with the best of them. I mean, they gave New York a run for their money the first time that they met up. It gave them their first loss. So you know that they're not afraid and they play with a lot of confidence, and that's a credit to the coaching system that he's established.
Sutton missed the 9-footer after all that sun ball. Up by 1. Dribble handoff, Morrow. Hodge, the defender. Morrow separates, finds Griner, 15 feet. Yes.
Griner, such a veteran here, understood how to play off the defender and still step back a little bit. We see you, Big G.
Big G's got in. Carlton the answer from deep on the other end to tie the game.
And that's what you don't want to do. You have done a great job so far, Connecticut, by trying to keep Ribbon Carlton off the perimeter, trying to keep her stagnant. Don't allow her now to start warming up because she is deadly from the arc.
Ribbon Carlton's first three, broken play. Recovered by Van Lith. Shot clock is down to 2. Van Lith, Griner, same spot. Rebound.
Yeah, you see that. You see teams, predictable traditional teams like Connecticut, Aces, these other teams, they train their players in practice where things are supposed to be a certain way. So don't get caught out of position. Don't overextend. Don't take the wrong angle. And that's not what he's teaching them. I don't care. Go get it. If it's there, go get it. We'll make up for it, right? And so you're gonna benefit more often than not. It's high risk, high reward. And you're gonna be rewarded more than you'll be risking really anything. And that's what it is. Wow. So they're not used to these freaking missiles, these drones all over the place, all of this chaos. That's why traditional coaches call it messy. And they did that to downplay it, but it's just because they can't get a handle on it. They're used to tradition. They're used to things being a certain way, and it's not that way, and it just throws everything off on offense and defense.
She's going to actually pass. She's going to create second chance opportunities. She's going to score. She's going to play with physicality.
The entry pass broken up. Ashley Barker, it's 3-on-1. Back to her. Sarah Ashley Barker lays it in. 1-point game.
Sarah Ashley Barker, again, she's just a guard that plays and shoots with so much confidence. And she's not afraid to step on anyone. We saw her try to get some stops in against Stewie. Now, she did stuff like that against Stewie. That she doesn't care about anybody wearing a Connecticut 7 uniform.
Sarah Ashley Barker, 9th overall pick of the LA Sparks in last year's draft. Not protected, taking an expansion. 7 points off the bench to lead Portland. Haley Jones called for a technical foul. Van Lith struck. The Sun much sharper.
Yeah, they're going to get even more dangerous when they get Carly Samuelson in because she plays wild like that on defense anyway. She's always been an in-your-face defender, a physical, aggressive, wild defender, Carly Samuelson. But on offense, she's a killer. She's a three-point shooter where she's going to bury you, man. If you play games with her, she'll bury you from that three-point line. But she's always been an aggressive defender, a 50-50 ball player. Like, she fits him perfectly. The system.
For the Sun, Holly Winterberg for Portland.
One thing I love about Sharice Walker is that she knows how to control the pace, right? I think she gets in the game because even early on, 5 games into the season, but she knows how to.
I mean, this is so ambitious that just think about it, you guys. It's gonna get to the point where Portland will have 5 offensive coordinators on the floor all time. Just think about that, because they all have full autonomy, full freedom to call their own plays, anything they see. And once they figure it out and they learn each other and they understand each other, this is why it's so difficult to beat and why you put up so many points with CLA, because you literally have 5 offensive coaches on the court at once and you can run anything. And so it's pretty serious.
Read those lips out, BG, because I don't know if that's family friendly, but you just say
Hey, we get to midnight. BG 6 on 10 points, grabs the miss. Griner was swallowed up. What a play by Sarah Williams, the rookie. Former UConn player Ashley Barker jets. Rebound Morrow. Leisure Walker, you mentioned the pace. Finds Burke. Sun set up in the half court. Up by 4. Morrow and Rivers, 2-player game. Griner's calling for it. Morrow fires. Winterberg makes the catch. Ashley Barker on the cross-court pass, midway point, third quarter. Connecticut Sun in search of win number 1 the Sunset season. Jones inside, too many steps.
Nah, Haley, you should have just, but that's her decision. But she should have really just did a fadeaway. All she had to do was do a fadeaway. She should have just hit her with her little patent fadeaway move, and she would have had her. But yeah, that's serious. It's serious stuff, y'all. The serious stuff. Now, what I like is that Alex is learning. He's improving too, right? Because last game, when I streamed their last game against New York, they would have potentially had that game a lot closer if he would have played Sarah Williams more minutes. They needed Sarah because she could defend multiple positions. And for whatever reason, he really didn't play her much that game. And that's what hurt him. And I said, look at dude. He has Megan Gustafson out here guarding guards and wings. And he needed Sarah Williams, man. And for whatever reason, he didn't really play her. And now look at him. He's given her a lot of minutes today. She could defend multiple positions. A lot better than Megan can. Megan is a really good player. A solid player. But on defense, she's limited to defending 2 positions, the 4 and the 5. Sarah can defend the 4, 3, and she can even guard 2s. So she's just a more versatile defender. Yeah. That's what that is. Super, like I said, man, can you imagine having like, I have to go back and tell you about Peyton Manning, because he was like the smartest quarterback ever. Like, can you imagine an offense with 11 Peyton Mannings? I'm just speaking about their mind, their IQ, their understanding of what the defense is doing. He knows the defense more than the defense understands what they're doing. Peyton Manning. And can you imagine 11 Peyton Mannings? Can you imagine that? Wide receivers with the IQ of Peyton Manning, everyone like, and you're able to make all of these amazing adjustments because you know the defense better than, you know each other, and you know the defense better than the defense knows the defense. And so that's what this is. That's constraints-led approach once you figure it out. And it's 5 offensive coordinators on the coach at once. That's dangerous, y'all. That's dangerous.
On 5 of 8 shooting, 3 rebounds. Does have her first block of 2026. Second all-time in block shots. Tarika, what an impact tonight.
Man, how she's been all over everything tonight. And just anytime she touches the ball, anytime she is in your lineup, she give your team the best opportunity to win. They missed you, Brittany.
And what's wild is like, it don't matter what you do to them on defense because it's light. Because they train just out of the box that whatever you throw at them is nowhere near to how they train. It's amazing, y'all.
Morrow turns and kicks. Charlize Leisure Walker a 3.
Nice. Charlize has been improving this game and in the last 2 games. So she's a quick learner. She's resilient. She has resolve. Love that about her.
By 7. Carlton freed up momentarily. Connects. That's an answer.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Bigger Carlton Jones, she can shoot that ball.
Sun push it the other way. And Edwards is fouled on the wrist as she flung that pass. Carlton's second 3 of the second half. Did not hit one in the first half. Portland foul on Potch. It's her second.
Yeah, That to me is the biggest thing that I'm going to see this Connecticut team work on as they're continuing to get better. That is just being able to really contain teams and stop them from being comfortable in the perimeter like Richard Carlton.
It's the Connecticut staff. Coach Mezion with associate head coach Ronika Hodges, Pascal Angelis, and Ashley McGee. Officiating crew has journeyed to the monitor. Reviewing the foul that was just called. Hodge. Hodge comes to double. Might have been contact with the face.
Better angle here. She comes over for the double team and just on the follow through, the finish of the follow through. Whoever's got him in the face.
Boyd Lubayan is our crew chief. All confirmed, it's a common foul. We already had a flagrant one earlier in the game. Winterburn. It's the competitive spirit by both teams. Coach Sarama, to his credit, with a brand new cast of characters. He's new to the scene. Coach Mezion, a young basketball team in Connecticut.
But again, this is the physicality that we've been wanting to see. I mean, granted, we also want, Connecticut to make their free throws, and that makes a huge difference. And if this game continues to be close, you have got to hope that the missed free throws don't come back to be one of those things that you regret later in the game. But again, aggression. Aaliyah Edwards has been aggressive this entire game. This has been a physical matchup. Both teams have found themselves on the line. But Portland has just done a bit better of a job capitalizing on their free throws in Connecticut.
Both coaches spoke before the game over the weekend and prep for this one. They mentioned defense likely decides the basketball game. Coach Sarama said after practices over the weekend, defense will win the game. And Coach Mezion, we spoke to him before the game. On-ball defense, ball screen defense. We have to be connected on that end of the floor. Leisure Walker commits the foul on the other end. Carlton's at the line.
Some things that he mentioned that part of the keys to this game is we've got to limit Carlton, we've got to limit Gustafson. Gustafson has only had 3 points so far, so good job here. Bridget Carlton starting to heat up, starting to find her rhythm. You see she's at the line now. Connecticut's got to still remain diligent in trying to minimize her impact.
Carlton went for 26 last Tuesday against the Liberty, held to 11 on Thursday. Just have 14 now to lead the fight. Now they throw a bunch of pressure up top. That's what Portland does. They are one of the most highly rated full court defensive pickup teams. And that doesn't stop at full court. They'll come right at you to the logo too. Shot clock at 11. Sun are in the bonus here. Morrow pops a 3. Just grazes the rim. Gianna Eakins gets her fresh minutes tonight. Tumbles over, Portland with numbers. And it's picked off by Rivers. Like a free safety.
Sanaya Rivers, which is at the right place at the right time, and boom.
Eakins a 3. Welcome to the party.
The 1-2 punch here is Sanaya Rivers, but you can just never trust where she's going to be on the court.
That was a house call.
That was.
You want to see that for Sauce Gardner next year.
I'm telling you, I need to see that immediately.
I'm sure you love those picks, you know what
Well,
I mean? Tariq is a Colts fan.
In case you didn't know.
Rivers is fouled in a deep corner. That's what they're looking for here.
And when I say defense to offense, this is exactly what we need. Sanaya Rivers being disruptive on the defensive end and kicking it right out to Meekins, who was left there to just have fun from deep. Man, if my Pistons could have did that last night,
I was not going to go there.
I can't help myself.
Some fans at home, this is a real exciting 5 on the floor right now. You got Edwards, who was the number 6 pick in 2024. Rivers and Morrow, both drafted top 10 last year. Leisure Walker and Neekins, both teammates at UCLA, win the national title. Drafted this past draft. An exciting lineup.
Exciting. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I know your reaction just now when it was free throws. Some 6 of 14 on the line.
43% from the line. I mean, that's
Come back and bite you.
What did Coach say? You know, control what you can control. I feel like those are one of the things that you absolutely can control.
Lead is 7 with 2.5 to go in the third. Sutton the wraparound. Geiselsuter extra. Feed it. Exler spins and scores it off the window. And one.
Wait for Emily to remain diligent and stick to that too, because they were bringing the double team over to her, but she again just uses that energy and that versatility. They bring to, and she's one-on-one with Neekins and just turns around and says, let me remind you who I am.
And not a lot of M1s tonight.
It's a lot of M1s.
So what this is gonna do is it's gonna cause a lot of WNBA players to want to come play for him, because he's giving them the freedom to do whatever they want to do. And so you don't want to really be in a rigid system, and because you truly can't grow as a player. So because of this freedom, I promise you, just watch free agency. Watch how many players want to come to Portland. Watch. They're gonna be set free, and they can really be themselves, and they're gonna learn so much. Just watch. This dude is gonna just lure in so much talent to Portland. You mean to tell me I get to just be free? I don't have to be in some rigid system? Seriously? And I get to play in front of 19,335 fans? Hell yeah, sign me up. That's what it is.
And like we just said, a 7-point lead swiftly becomes 1. Just showed it a moment ago. Turnovers, 11 for the Sun, resulting in 12 Portland points. Here's where Connecticut has taken advantage to reach 10 fire turnovers. It's turned into 17 points. That's defensive transition to result in easy offense.
Yep. But at the same time, listen, this is a team that is still building chemistry with their younger players. They're still trying to build chemistry with these new pieces. So you expect there to be some communication and mistimings on defense, but you've got to kind of fix those things very early on in the season, especially in a game like this.
Sutton missed the first handful of games with a right knee injury in her debut against New York Thursday. Steadied the ship in Washington as a starting point guard. Great to see her back in the league. Shot clock is down to 5. Catch and nearly a finish. Edwards couldn't bank it in. Sun ball, last touched by Portland. Edwards knew she missed a bucket.
She is. She's upset with herself, but listen, she knew. I think that was great. When you talk about communication, I was just saying they were missing it on the defensive end. That was great communication there offensively, because Anaya Rivers had no issue getting that ball in there to Edwards. She saw the mismatch. She knew that her teammate would be able to do it, and she got it in. You just got to finish it there.
Sun up to 7 offensive rebounds. Edwards, Leisure Walker, Rivers, Morrow, Neekins with 5 on the floor. Here is Leisure Walker. Edwards sets the pick. Portland switches. Sutton comes to double. Shot clock to 4. Rivers has to hoist.
Gianna should have shot it. She should have shot that. Right? She should have shot that. She hesitated. She pump faked, man. You got to shoot that. You have to shoot it. You have to shoot that.
Exactly. But she is all over the board. Like, she is going to assert herself down low. Just can't walk away from this possession.
Rivers tries to hedge the screen. Hit the roller, kick it out. Ashley Barker for the lead.
Sarah Ashley Barker, if there's one thing she can do, it's going to be spot up and shoot.
Connecticut was up 7. It's a 9-0 Portland run. Final minute, third quarter. Leisure Walker, another long possession for the Sun. Leisure Walker outlet, Needkins with two. Needkins just cut it up. Flutters off the rim. Moda center is rocking. Morrow comes out to guard Geisel Suter. Oh, and a steal, but a whistle.
The defensive intensity was there on that play, but just a bit too much contact with Sarah Ashley Barker there, and the foul was called. But that's the defensive aggression that you need in order to get yourself back into this matchup.
Sarah is just built so perfectly, y'all. I mean, she's built perfect for any sport. She's built for softball. She's built for volleyball. She's built for football. She's built for lacrosse. She's built for wrestling. Her build is so perfect. She's like perfect, man.
Deep in her bag. Thought about the shot. Nowhere to go.
She's like a perfect athlete. Like she could fit in any sport, hockey. Like she's like the perfect build for an athlete.
Geisel Suter in shock is livid. BG is set to go to the line.
Without BG on the floor, this game was very small. They were making it incredibly difficult for Connecticut to get inside the paint and find anything. With BG back in the lineup, she dominates herself. And again, they cannot stop her. They cannot stop her.
Griner is 0 for 3 from the line. The Sun and Yale New Haven Health team up to fight cancer. For every block made at home, $50 donated to fund cancer research. BG knocks them both down. 12 points, 5 away from 6K. Tied at 62. Final seconds of the third. Hold on the wrist by Van Lith. It's not what we want. Puts Portland at the line.
In this, give yourself some type of, behavior just kind of in her head a little bit about that
Keeping her thoughts for herself.
Trying to keep it PG.
Yeah, it's going to wear you down, man. It's going to wear you down. Your conditioning has to be there, and they're just doing everything you're not used to seeing. And it's wild, but it's controlled wildness because they're in control of it. They're a hurricane mixed with a tornado, mixed with a monsoon, mixed with a typhoon, mixed with a cyclone, mixed with tidal waves, mixed with a blizzard, mixed with extreme heat and wildfires. It's mixed with heavy fog and a sandstorm and a dust storm. And they're just controlling the weather. And that's sort of what it is. So credit to Connecticut right now. But I'm trying to tell you, man, it'll wear you out after a while. It'll wear you down. It did that to New York in the first meeting. It just wore New York down. New York adjusted really good. That's credit to Chris DeMarco. And that's because, he was an assistant coach with the Warriors. So he coached against Cleveland, the Cavs, when Alex Sarama was their assistant coach, running CLA there. Now, Cleveland had the best record in the East and had the number one offense that year, but he's seen CLA used. So the second game, how do you limit chaos as much as possible? We're just going to do matchup zones damn near 90% of the time. Okay, however they move that ball, we're going to do a different matchup zone. We're going to start out with a 2-3 because Emily Angster is attacking. She's going to kick out. We're going to switch to a 3-2. They're going to try to drive a cut. We're going to switch to a 1-3-1. We're going to switch to a 1-2-2. We're going to switch to an X zone, a 2-1-2. We're going to switch to a triangle in 2. We're going to switch to a hybrid. Like, this is what it is. And that's literally what New York did to them. And so, and yet Portland still could have ended up winning that game potentially if he had just played Sarah Williams. If he had just played Sarah Williams and made a few more adjustments, they would have won. They would have at least made that game a lot more interesting. So yeah. Come on, baby. That's a long game break. That's a long game break, man. I think they need to do what like the Upshot League is doing during commercials. They're just showing you, they're just showing you what's going on during commercial breaks. So you're seeing the fans, you're seeing the mascots, you're seeing them shoot a bunch of T-shirts into the crowd. You're seeing what's going on the video board. That's interesting than just watching a screen that says game break. I would rather look at the crowd and the mascots and you shoot a bunch of T-shirts in the crowd. Just show me this than just showing me game break.
Our game summary is presented by TD, official bank of the Connecticut Sun. For Connecticut, 3 players in double figures, Edwards and Griner with 12, Morrow with 10 and 8 rebounds, flirts with another double-double. As for Portland, 4 in double figures, Carlton has caught fire in the second half.
Carlton has definitely caught fire in the second half. That shooting versatility that she has shown up, and you can see that the Fire really got back into this matchup by winning that third quarter. So this right here is where we are going to see which one of these teams have really found a way to figure out how to close. They're both young, but closing is going to be essential to being able to really make your game in this league.
Hawks is denied. PG takes it away. Second block for Griner, who is 5 points away from 6,000 in the 13-year WNBA career. Sun in search of the first win of its season. Rivers, mid-range, back iron, rebound Potch.
Such a beautiful shot for Sanaya in that third quarter. You can see that keep going here in this final quarter.
Carlton is crafty, outlet, Sutton, short. Rivers parachutes for the rebound, engaged Sanaya Rivers to start the fourth. Van Lith operates around the pick, bouncing tomorrow, drives, blocked by Carlton. This game's good.
This game is good, but I want this Connecticut team to speed it up just a bit here in their transition. From offense to defense, it just takes it a little slower than it needs to be.
Turnover number 12 for Portland. Jones with the lob pass, picked off. Leisure Walker, Rivers, Van Lith, Morrow, and Griner. A takeaway. Sarah Williams, the 3rd round pick out of UConn. Sutton, Potch, Carlton, Sutton, Williams, and Jones, the 5 for the Fire. Sutton drives it and banks it in.
Yeah, one thing about Suge Sutton, man, she was born with a clutch gene. Some people are just born with these blessings, these gifts from the Creator, and she was born with a clutch gene.
Slow the ball down, that plays in the favor of Portland. They've got to find a way to speed it up.
That full court pickup is foul and Fire, knocked off the Liberty last week. Shot clock to 2.
You see that? Do you see how they just don't care? We're gonna jump these routes, we're gonna jump these lanes. We don't care. We'll figure it out, we'll make up for it eventually. It's high risk, high reward, but we feel that the reward outweighs the risk, right? And we'll be rewarded more often than not. And like that's how they see it.
There's a foul underneath. And to your point about full court pickup, even when you do pass that line, the shot clock winding down, they get you late into your sets.
They get you to make very ill-advised decisions because you're now focused on timing instead of focused on running your offense.
Post touch Griner, nearly a triple team, spray pass, batted away, Van Lith to Rivers, up fake, mid-range, Sanaya Rivers, cash.
Wait for Sanaya to be patient on that as well. You see the defender coming over, no need to try to force a three. It's going to be contested. Be patient and make something that is impactful happen.
Rivers has 9, that's a steal. Griner bails Rivers out, 3-on-2. Rivers deep in the paint, kick it out, Leisure Walker, make it rain!
Nice. Sanaya would be perfect for his system. Sanaya would be perfect for Portland. Perfect.
Rushing things, making ill-advised shots. Good things happen when you wait.
19 points for the Sun off Portland turnover. Sutton, swim move in the lane. Williams on the glass and a foul.
You got a foul there from Connecticut, but before that play, it is all Sanaya Rivers being a defensive disruptor, turning that defense into offense. That meeting was nasty. You just seen her do it going into the fourth quarter. But here she goes again, being disruptive on the defensive end, being cautious not to step out of bounds, and then finding the shooter in Charlize Leisure-Walker, who again can shoot a bucket from anywhere.
To quote the great Linda Cohn, for the love of elevation, Sanaya Rivers. Both ends.
Sanaya Rivers can do it, man.
We saw a house call earlier that set up the Neekins three-pointer, and we mentioned at that time, get in the paint, draw the defense in.
She's just really good at anticipating where the ball is going to be, and that makes her such a dangerous defender.
Mystery throw, Portland, Sun by 2. BG picked up the foul. Just her second. Griner in attack mode. And go to the line for 2. BG inches closer to WNBA history.
You can see this Portland team is also trying to be anticipatory when it comes to how they're reading the ball or reading the passes. But unfortunately, these last couple of possessions have got them foul trouble.
The Sun and Post University work to support education access for everyone. For every 3 made at home this season, $100 will go to a scholarship supporting a student in higher education. BG takes care of business. 14 points, 3 away from 6,000. Sun by 4. Ashley Barker in the paint. Should mention, we didn't do this early. Our apologies. Carla Late out again for Portland. Got up to a hot start. 19.5 points per game for their first 2. Was instrumental in their win over the Liberty. For the Sun, no Olivia Nelson-Ododa tonight, so we saw a little bit of Beers. Here's Late taking the action.
Absolutely love Carla Late. She's literally one of the agents for the Fire team. Incredibly explosive, very poised player.
And even with that, both coaches not shy to go to their benches in this game. Tie up, Rivers got the hands in. Unable to take the lunch money. It's a jump ball.
When you got a Sarah Ashley Barker on your bench that's coming out, playing well, doing exactly what needs to be done, you're not really worried about. But I think that's a very comforting feeling when you trust your bench to come in and do whatever it is that needs to be done when you have an explosive player that may not be able to do it.
34 bench points for the Sun, 18 for Portland. These are the top 2 most productive benches in the league. If Portland wins this jump ball, they have 2 seconds to shoot. Sun winner. It's Rivers, Morrow, Leisure Walker, Van Lith, and Griner on the floor. Leisure Walker into the paint. With the left no. Morrow the rebound. Number 9. A jump ball. Lisa Morrow rebound away from a 4th double-double.
And Lisa Morrow, man, she's not letting anything go down there in the paint. There's not a single moment that you can't count on her being somewhere in the mix when it comes to getting the ball.
Jump ball again, this time on this end of the floor. Van Lith secures. Rivers. Flip it. Morrow. Looks for Van Lith back door. Nothing there. Shot clock to 5. BG with ups. BG spins. Too much. Loose ball. Portland's on it.
See them get into their defensive set. They'll be there.
Especially after a miss. Williams deep in the paint. And a foul. Sarah Williams getting crunch time minutes. Don't go anywhere. 5.5 to go. Sun trying to close out win number 1.
Not all kids become goats. Because goats aren't just born, they're raised. And that all-time part of greatest It includes the future.
Yep. All right, let's check out some of this. They got annihilated. That's all on Sydney Johnson. That's all on Sydney Johnson, man. That's his fault. Yep, look. Doug Lang says this one it's on the coach more than the players. I'm not sure that Sydney is the man for the job. You got 2 L's on Sydney. 2 L's that's clearly Sydney's fault, not even the players. It's 1000% Sydney Johnson's fault. Clear. Yeah, that dude, he screwed this game up today. That's all on him. Yeah, she's confident. Well, she's getting confident right now. And so that's just good. That's good. She is getting confident. Oh, look at Maddie. One thing about Maddie, man, Maddie. One thing about Maddie, when she put them clothes on, Maddie will shock you, boy. That she look nice in some clothes. She will shock you.
Connecticut Sun basketball on NBC Sports Boston is brought to you by Build Submarines. Build a legacy. Giants are built here. Moda Center in the Rose City. 19,000 in the building to take in Connecticut and Portland. The Sun in search of win number 1 in the sunset season at 0-4. Portland is 1-2. They split with one of the title favorites last week in New York. They're suffocating defense. They've gone to it here in the 4th to make things challenging, but the Sun have not backed down. Burke is in for Rivers, who is shaken up on the play before commercial break.
I would hate to see that for Nia Rivers. I'm sure she'll be fine and come back into the game at some point, but she was cooking. Get all the little couple plays, and you kind of need that confidence here late in the game. That's been close.
There's Rivers. Hard hit. 2-point cut up. Walked off the floor on her own power, but was looked at by the athletic training staff. Terry Acosta, Sun athletic trainer. Blocking foul on Haley Van Lith. Her 4th. Carlton's at the line. She's 2 for 2. Connecticut once built a 7-point lead in this game. Multiple times. Then Portland stormed ahead with a 9-0 run. We've had a back-and-forth game pretty much the entire night. 11 lead changes 10 times.
Absolutely. But I mean, Bridget Carlton was only going to be silenced for so long. Right? She came into the half and only had about 4 points, and then that 3rd quarter she was kind of tough.
BG to catch. Outlet Ledger Walker. Sidestep to Van Lith. Jab, inside, Griner, kick out, Burke. Down to 3 to shoot, Van Lith. Sidestep, three-pointer.
See that defensive possession right there? I mean, they've made it incredibly difficult for this Connecticut team to find any type of footing on the offensive end, and took them deep late into the shot clock. That's where you want to be. That's what Portland wants to continue to do, to get themselves a little bit over the edge here late in this game.
Ledger Walker was swarmed. Van Lith's done. Dribble handoff, Haley Van Lith. Finds Burke, post touch, Griner. There's a twist of the body, that's a foul by the Fire.
Yeah, Whitburn got him right there on the shoulder. It is hard to contain, BG. So that is
You only hope to continue.
You only hope to contain BG, but it is not an easy task.
Portland with still 2 fouls to give. 4:25 left. Very clutch time, folks. 2-point game. Griner. Back up top, Ledger Walker. It's a double team. Morrow finds BG deep in the paint. Passed up a layup, kick it out. Burke short. I don't think BG realized how close she was to the rim. Griner hits the deck. Takeaway by the Fire. Carlton, why not?
Wait, that didn't work out the way that too, but at the end of the day, that is an advantage to Portland when you don't really necessarily understand how you have to be able to make those shots in that moment. You're leaving the perimeter wide open.
Yeah, man. it's getting to them, but yeah, let's Portland just complete some of these layups. They'll be fine.
Because they know, they see it. Like, they've got to have that defensive pressure up there. They can't leave perimeter shooters wide open.
Sutton, a tight window, feeds it. Ashley Barker does the rest. We're tied.
Now, that's one thing Angel Reese can learn is patience. Catch it. You saw Sarah. She caught it. It was heavy traffic. Boom. She reversed, dribble out of it. Patience. Cleared Sanaya. Put it up. And we're starting to see more patience from Camila Cardoso. And that's what you want to see from Angel. Sometimes when Angel catches it, she just goes straight up into all of this traffic. Sometimes you just got to be patient, man. Pump fake a little bit. Wait a little bit.
Fumbles. Hits the ground. It's a Connecticut foul. Portland's in the bonus. Fouls on Griner. BG's third. Pardon me, that's an offensive foul on Ashley Barker. It's an offensive foul.
You got to see if she was set. Hey, and one thing that Alex Sarama didn't do in that second game against New York, he didn't use any challenges. Was she set? Yeah, he didn't use any challenges. And that was one of my issues with him in that game. I wanted him to challenge more.
But now, like, the folks are
so Portland used a timeout, which I think means they're going to challenge.
They're going to challenge this.
Yeah, see, he's learning. Alex is learning, y'all. He's getting better. Because against New York, he didn't use any challenges. And I was like, dude, like, it's clear New York is fouling y'all. Or they calling you for a bogus foul. Like, use your challenge. He didn't use any challenges. So he's learning. And then it's the same thing with Megan Gustafson, how he had Megan Gustafson out there defending guards and wings, and she was getting chopped up. I was like, man, he should put in Sarah Williams because she can guard wings and guards. She can guard 4, 3, and some 2s. And he didn't do it against New York, and it hurt him. Not challenging hurt him. Sometimes he would just let them continue to play when he should have called a timeout to kill New York's momentum. He wouldn't call a timeout really to kill their momentum. And so we're starting to see this game. He's calling timeouts when there's momentum. He's playing Sarah Williams a whole lot more than Megan Gustafson this game, right? and he's using a challenge. So you want to see he's not someone who just believes he's above it all, right? He knows that he can make changes too, that he can improve. And that's what you want to see, an honest coach, right? Someone who has done some self-evaluation, some self-reflection, and realized that, you know what, they can be a lot better too. They can grow too. So that's great, man. It's good to see that. Yeah, like I said, with these right here, they should just, if they don't have a commercial to show you, then just show us inside of the arena. Just show us the arena. I don't care. Show us fans, show people eating popcorn, show kids running around, tossing t-shirts, half court shot. I don't care. The mascot, whatever. I would rather look at that than this screen that says game break. And it's, yeah, show me this. I don't care. I would rather look at fans than to see game break.
Third personal foul. 5 team fouls, penalty.
This arena is really impressive. I thought the Fever had like the best arena. This arena right here is very impressive. I mean, see, this is my first time ever seeing this arena because I don't watch the NBA. I haven't watched the NBA in 10 years. So I never knew this. I've never known this before. This is a nice arena, man.
Defensive foul on Leisure Walker.
And see, from this particular angle, it looks like her foot is above the restricted area. But in a separate angle, you can see that her foot was actually inside of the restricted area, which is obviously why that call was going to be overturned. But, I mean, hey, they have a much better view of it.
Well, they get multiple looks. Take their time with it.
Sometimes
it's a tough call in real time.
It is a very tough call in real time.
And Ashley Barker misses the first. Portland's missed 5 free throws collectively. 76%. Connecticut 11 of 19. Sarah Ashley Barker. Her first attempts of the season right now. 0 for 1. 0 for 2. And the lead remains 2.
Speaking of Sarah Ashley Barker, that overturned call actually keeps her out of serious foul trouble. That would have to be her 5.
That's crazy, Sarah. You at least have to make one. You got to at least make one of those free throws. Jesus.
You asked the question earlier. Now, Portland has won a game. They knocked off New York last Tuesday. How to close out a win.
Absolutely. And that in the matchup. You forced them to go late and deep into the shot clock. And that one resulted in a shot clock violation. Connecticut's got to find their offensive rhythm here.
There you go. She about to make up for it. Yeah, she knew she let the team down at the free throw line. So you saw, even on the defensive end, she was determined to make up for it. She was determined to make up for it, y'all. So that's good to see. That's good to see.
Again, she had not been to the line until tonight. First made free throw of the season gives Portland the lead with 2:28 to go. Full court press, no shock there. Sun clear of the timeline. Leisure Walker at the point of attack. It's Rivers. 7 to shoot. Griner. For history, passes it up and a lay-in for Morrow. Sun with the lead.
Anissa Morrow just in the right place at the right time, getting the ball quickly out of her hands.
Portland nearly answers. Morrow chases it down. Now 12 points and 12 rebounds. A fourth double-double in 5 games for Anissa Morrow. They double Leisure Walker.
There it is. Go. Go.
It's Angsler.
Go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Portland's half-court press has been just a thorn in Connecticut's side in this second half, forcing them to really play out of pace, to really play at Portland's tempo.
And this is why you're going to have to start drafting guards. You're going to have to start drafting guards from the SEC more than any other conference because of Kim Caldwell's system. She runs the same type of system on defense where they're 94 feet. Now, sometimes they don't jump gaps like Portland. And yeah, but it's very, very aggressive, right? It's as close to this as you're going to get. And so guards are often going through that when they play Tennessee. So you probably are going to have to start getting guards from Tennessee. I mean, guards in the SEC who can handle this type of pressure in the future.
Rivers with 7. Griner up top. 4 to shoot. BG spins.
Let's go. Let's go.
Ashley
Let's go.
Parker
Let's go.
on the move, spins.
Let's go. Let's go. Never forget when she put up 45 points or something like that on Maryland. Man, never listen. And Alabama would have won that game if Aaliyah Nye didn't get injured. No. I think Aaliyah Nye got in foul trouble. Yeah, she got in foul trouble. She fouled out.
And sure enough, she makes the little plays at the end to get the and one. I mean, you can see that fire bench is out of control. And the Motor Center just going crazy.
One minute to go. Portland up by 4. Wow. Leisure Walker sets the pick. Van Lith to Griner. Back to Haley Van Lith. Drives it and scores at 1. Haley Van Lith.
Nice, Haley. Nice, Haley. This was the best thing for Haley. Because Chicago was just too veterans. Chicago just had way too much for her. Too many guards with all kind of experience or just super talented. And there was no way she was going to carve out minutes there. And so going to Connecticut, she get to breathe and really show who she is. So now what you're getting that scoring Haley Van Lith that you saw at Louisville. Okay. At TCU, she was complete. She was a complete combo guard. At LSU, she was more of a shooting guard than anything. At Louisville, she was more of a shooting guard than anything. At TCU, she was really more of a point than a shooting guard, but she had a really pretty good balance. At LSU, she was just floating. She just didn't know. She was drowning, really. It was a mess at LSU. It was a mess. So what you're seeing from her is Louisville, but Louisville with a lot of experience. And that's what you're seeing.
13 on the shot clock.
A more efficient Louisville, right? A more efficient Louisville with a lot of experience. That was her and Deja Kelly's problem. Deja Kelly and Haley Van Lith are very good players. They just had an inefficiency issue. They can get whatever shot they wanted to get. They just weren't efficient, and that's what hurt them. But Deja Kelly in the Upshot League went Friday, put up 31 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists. Serious. Okay? And everyone in the Upshot League is either from the WNBA or overseas or from a P5 or P4. So she did really, really good. Really good. Now, a lot of that came from the free throw line, but she was hitting her mid-range shots and layups.
9 steals for the Sun, 11 for Portland. Connecticut 18 turnovers resulted in 27 fire points. That number really upticked in the second half. Portland 14 turnovers, would have resulted in 22 Sun points.
Absolutely. And if they bring the double team, then you need to put the ball in the hands of the player that's going to put her head down and go straight to the basket, which could be Sanaya Rivers or Haley Van Lith.
Curious how Griner approaches where to tip the ball. Notice the two guards behind BG, Leisure Walker, bottom of your screen, Van Lith at the top. We get a violation by Portland.
Well, I mean,
on the jump ball. So you'll take it that.
No, that's what they wanted to do. That's what they wanted to do. I think Sarah probably could have won it. I don't think you should doubt yourself. I think Sarah should have jumped. But they got what they wanted.
Opportunity of trying to make something happen here with them taking the ball out.
Exactly. They can set their defense. Van Lith comes for the rock.
Oh, went off her foot. Okay.
Stays beyond the line. Shot clock to 4. Haley Van Lith, jumper, ties the game.
Nasty. And she's like, her percentage with heavily contested jumpers since the preseason has to be well over 70%, right? She's been doing this since preseason, hitting these heavily contested shots, right? She's literally been doing that, but that's CLA. Like, you train for that with CLA, constraints-led approach.
You cannot huddle. Tied at 79. Sutton has a step in the lane. Sutton.
I told you, boy, Suge Sutton was born with a clutch gene. Going way back to Texas. That chick, she will always come up clutch for you more often than not. Anything, a late game shot, a half court, I don't care what it is. More often than not, Suge Sutton will always make a clutch play. She's been like this since I've been watching her at Texas, since her freshman year. She's always came up for you in the clutch more often than not. It's some people are born with a clutch gene. Ty Harris is born with a clutch gene. Renaya Davis, Lexi Hall on defense and in the 50-50 area. Some people just have it, man. They just have it.
Down 2.
You gotta run it back the same way. Your first option has to be Brittany Griner. She's been the person that they have not been able to stop. But secondarily, if you don't see her available, if you aren't able to get it open, you keep the ball in the hand of Haley Van Lith. She has been the person to make the big shot in the big moment. We saw her poise a moment ago. We saw her poise on Friday against the Aces, and they aren't able to stop.
Man, we talking about 3 home games with over 19,000 fans, y'all. Now, you want to credit Golden State for starting this trend, but this is unprecedented, to be quite honest with you. Like, this is next level, y'all. 3 straight games with over 19,000 fans. This is amazing. This is putting all other pro sports to shame. To shame.
Edwards also out there that can give you that extra bit of inside presence.
Van Lith to trigger it in. 2 screens, Leisure Walker. Morrow is free. Into Griner. BG for 6K in the tie. No! Last touched by Portland.
Tipped out, right up that rebound, tipped out by Portland.
Griner, Van Lith, Leisure Walker, Rivers, and Morrow, your 5 on the floor. Haley Van Lith to take it out. Look. Van Lith, look. Has to get it in. Rivers is open, fires. No. Rebound Carlton. And the Sun must foul.
Man, always as a player and a coach, always reward your fans, man. Don't send your fans home with an L. And that's in any situation, but when they're showing you this much love, you talking about 3 home games with over 19,000 fans, man, you gotta win for them. You have to. And this is on what's today? Yeah, this is a Monday, y'all. This is a Monday, y'all.
4-point game. Mo to center. Losing.
Yeah, this is a Monday. This is amazing. And Portland need like some love. Portland has been dealing with some things with the I'll get into it in another video. Let's just stay happy. Let's just stay positive, joyful.
Rivers. Double. Griner. Outlet. Leisure Walker. For three. With 1.9 left. Portland takes timeout.
Just got to get the basketball in. That's it. Get the basketball. Yeah. So what did you notice from Charlize Leisure Walker? This is her third game in a row where she's shown that she has resolve. She had 2 bad games, and now she's picked it up. 2, 3. This is her third game in a row where she's been playing good basketball. She had 2 poor games to begin the season, and now she's playing really good basketball right now. Like, she looks like she's figuring it out. She's getting comfortable, and she belongs in a WNBA. And you'll eventually see that from Gianna at some point. But right now, she's like, Charlize is very comfortable. She's showing you how strong she is, man. Her will, her determination, like her pride. She's just not going to give up. She's not going to die. She's not going to quit. She's going to improve. And you're seeing that with Hailey Van Lith. This was the best thing that happened to Hailey Van Lith in the WNBA coming to Connecticut. The best.
Rivers has 4 steals tonight. If those 2 things don't happen, a steal or a violation, you got to foul right
You
away.
got to foul immediately. I mean, immediately.
Curious to see who takes the ball out of Portland.
And you don't even really have time to even figure out if the steal is going to happen. You just got to go for it.
Now off the timeout, advance to the arc. Oh wow, an offensive foul is called. You can check that box. Wow, it's Connecticut ball. Offensive foul called on Portland's Emily Exler.
Emily Inkster just comes off the screen way too hard off of Leah Edwards in the offensive foul right here. She's in position and she.
Oh, no. She's moving. You have to challenge that. She's moving. She's not set. She's not set. You have to challenge that.
Does not result in free throws. Connecticut can win the game.
You don't have to force a 3. You just need to find the open man. And again, you got to go your hot hand. Your hot hand has been BG. You got to.
Emily is tough. She'll make up for it. Got to show emotional toughness here and make up for it. Just don't foul. Don't foul. There it is.
My goodness, I mean, what an ending. Credit to Portland for just doing the little things late in this matchup. Sarah Ashley Barker got hot at the right time, but my goodness, Connecticut came out with the same energy that they left on Friday against the Aces, and they played all 4 quarters. But one thing that I mentioned is that you did not want those free throws that you missed earlier in this game to come back and bite you in the end. And you've got to think about now, looking at them being 11 of 20 from the line, shooting 55%, 11 of 20. You got to think to yourself, could those things have made a difference?
Our play of the game is brought to you by Yale New Haven Health, powering breaks through Kennedy Burke.
She thought that she was going to get to go to the free throw line if she took that charge. That's what she's asking about. And they're saying no. That's her own coaches. Like, no. Yeah. Wow. Great game, man. Great game. So much love to Connecticut. Much love to Portland. I mean, just serious stuff, man. Just serious stuff. Let me take this off of here. Yeah, just serious.
They lost their home opener to Seattle.
Yeah, super.
Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern on NBC Sports.
All right, let me look at the box score real quick. No. Let's mute that. Let's check the box score. Yeah, Bridget 18, Emily Angsler 15. Wow. So they had 5 players in double figures. And that's what you want. You don't want to be figured out. So you, with this type of system, you can get 7 players in double figures, man. So 18 for Bridget, 15 for Emily, 12 for Shug, 10 for Niadu, 18 for Sarah Ashley Barker. And then you go to, they had 23 assists, which is great. They had 11 steals and 3 blocks. So yeah, that's what you want to see. And we go to Connecticut. They had 5 players in double figures, almost 6 with Sanaya Rivers. She had 9. But Sanaya had 4 steals. So they had 9 steals and 6 blocks. Portland had 11 steals and 3 blocks. So yeah, that's serious. Damn, that was a real good game, y'all. That was a real good game. And it was physical, but it was legal. And so this was one of the more entertaining games of the year to watch, because we finally got physical basketball so far. This season, we haven't had that. It's been real finesse, whistles blowing left and right, stoppage of play. We got physical basketball, a freaking ball hawking all over the place, physical basketball, fun basketball. It was very entertaining. And you're talking about Connecticut, 5 players in double figures, almost 6. Sanaya had 9. And then Portland, 6 players in double figures. Like, that's beautiful basketball. That's fun basketball, man. That's fun basketball. I also have to say this too. I think that the WNBA are going to have to probably start getting some refs from the Upshot League, because they're high quality refs. But maybe if they went to the WNBA, they probably would get corrupted. I don't know. The WNBA might corrupt those refs. They got the best refs I've seen next to Athletes Unlimited. Right? So next to Athletes Unlimited, they really got like the best refs I've seen. What am I doing? Let me look this up real quick. Hold on. Let me see something. Yeah, I just want to... Yeah, she's trying to stop these data centers from taking people's homes. There we go, Portland. There you go. Super excited for Portland, man. Super excited. Grace Van Slooten had a very good game and got waived, but that's because our fam is coming back. So that's what that is. That's because our fam is coming back. Well, hopefully they'll sign her to a development contract, or someone should pick her up. Let me see something. Okay, yeah. So, all right. So anyway, let me ask Grok about refology. Let me see something. Yeah, I forgot to put the hyphen there, but yeah, Refology. They've been around since 2009, about 17 years. It was founded by Shelley Rusi, a longtime women's basketball referee, former NCAA Division I official, and ex-supervisor of WNBA officials. The program focuses on holistic referee development beyond just rules and mechanics to include mental awareness, leadership, self-reflection, composure, and the whole person approach, physical, mental, and respectful officiating. It offers year-round training, film study, coaching, workshops, and designations like the embodied referee. Yes, Refology has sent officials to the Upshot League, a new women's professional basketball. It's not a development league, and that's what the commissioner cleared up Friday night. She said, we're not a development league. She said, we're an opportunity league. We're not a developmental league. This connection runs through Blast Equality Collab, a 501c3 nonprofit also founded by Rusi, which partners with or supports Refology training and provides officials for pro-level games, including those in the Upshot League. Refology has ties to other women's basketball initiatives, for example, the Women's Premier Basketball Association in the Bay Area, and emphasizes building a stronger officiating pipeline. Upshot, led by Commissioner Donna Orender, is a new league, so Refology involvement aligns with supplying trained officials for this game. Let me tell y'all something. Refology, so far I've seen there's only been 3 Upshot League games. There was 2 on Friday and then 1 on Saturday. Man, these officials are chef's kiss. I mean, just beautiful officiating, y'all. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful officiating. And I'm like, whoa. So they got on all of this Refology. On the front of their shirts, it says Refology. And then on the back, it says Upshot League. And I was like, I've never heard of Refology before. So yeah, I'm like, these refs are amazing. Amazing. It's just beautiful basketball, man. Beautiful. I was like, the WNBA will have to start probably getting some of these Refology refs, man. But who knows what will happen. They go to the WNBA, they might get corrupted. They'll go to the W and get corrupted, man. So maybe Refology should just stick with Upshot League. I don't know, but anyway, I just wanted to highlight that because people are complaining about the officiating, which they should. But so far, the Upshot League with Refology and those officials for Athletes Unlimited, nice. Real nice, man. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. Yeah, Portland, man, salute to Portland. Salute to Portland, man. He said he didn't care about the team, but seeing the fans and team always aiming to win, it said won him over. Yeah, are you not entertained? Sarah Ashley Barker dominated. Dominated, man. She dominated. She came through when she was supposed to come through, like seriously. Super happy for her. Much love, Jessica. Yeah, super happy for her. Let me go to Portland real quick. Portland Fire. Here we go. Most excellent Fire Legends first row for a win. It's Sarah time. Yeah. Say he need a pouch jersey. Fire caption. That was stressful. The hoop is on fire. Yeah, that's nice, man. Just super excited for them. Super excited for them, man. He went and selected him some freaking drones, man, like some killer drones. Like y'all call them dogs, but you know, this dude went and got him some killer drones out there, man. Like Sarah, Emily, Bridget, serious. And I showed this on 2K26. I only play the WNBA mode because I don't know those dudes in the NBA. But what happened was, what I did is that I picked the Chicago Sky and I put everyone on the team who is in the 90s with hustle, effort, and like defense. And so I figured that what if I put a team that's like A+ in hustle and like A+ in defense? What if I did that? And so I went and selected, I signed or traded for every player who had an A or A+ in hustle and defense. It didn't matter what their offense was. And so we won a championship. I simulated. We suffocated you to death. We had led the league in steals and blocks and all of this stuff like that, man. That's what I did. We out-hustled you and we were the #1 defense. And we got a lot of our points in transition. And that's how we won that championship. I simulated. And so to see what Portland is doing, with like y'all call them dogs, I call them drones. Like Portland got a bunch of drones, man. Like it doesn't have to be a big name. It doesn't have to be a big sexy name, right? So that's serious, man. He got some drones, dog. He went and got him some drones, man. Alex went and got him some drones, boy. He is not playing. It's bigger than what people think, man. It's serious. It's real serious. It's real serious, man. Yeah. I got to get ready to go to bed. Let me just see something real quick. I got to get ready to go to bed. I got to check and see what games come on tomorrow, too. Let me see. Oh, no. Yeah, so we got to wait. But I'm super happy about this. Portland and Indiana, that's going to be interesting. Interesting, y'all. Okay, I'm recording that. Because Indiana likes to play fast, but Indiana is structured, it's orchestrated by Caitlin, plus it's with a lot of heavy influence from Stephanie White. They're going to run a bunch of plays. Portland is going to blow up those plays. Now, Caitlin is going to probably, because Portland takes so many chances, because they gamble a lot with jumping routes, jumping those passing lanes, Caitlin is she's going to do a lot of backdoor cuts. There's going to be a lot of backdoor cuts from Stephanie White. A lot of 45-degree cuts. A lot of 45-degree cuts and dive cuts. And so Caitlin is probably, potentially, could run out of there with like 15 or 20 assists. But because they pressure you so much and trap you and blitz you all of the time, Caitlin might run it out of there with like 10 or 12 turnovers too. So, but the referees is really protecting her. So Portland could find themselves in a lot of foul trouble, even though they're not really fouling her. They just want her, they have her on television 44 times. So they want Indiana to have a good record. And they need Caitlin to put up good numbers so they can keep selling her because she's pushing the league. And so they're favoring her, they're favoring Asia, like that's what it is. But if they call it the way they called it against Connecticut and call it fair like that, Indiana is in trouble if they do it that way. But if they're going to be sending Caitlin to that free throw line every time someone breathes on her, it's going to be a long night for Portland, potentially. But it don't even really matter on defense because Indiana, they don't know what they're going to do on offense, and that's the problem. So Caitlin could do what she's going to do on offense, but you don't know what they're going to do on defense. And so this would mean that Stephanie will have to watch New York Liberty's film vids and say, okay, the team just has to run a bunch of matchup zones all of the time. And that could be one way she could sort of stymie things. But yeah, I think I'm recording this already too. Let me see. Yeah, I got that one recorded. Yeah, that's serious, man. That is serious. That is serious.
My God. Oh my.
Yeah. Coming. Who is it?
Oh, it's Fiona. Need some help. One of Jimmy's. Scuffle with the night police. Cocktail blew up in his face. Wouldn't let him go to the hospital.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he's a baby. Bring him upstairs.
I shouldn't be here.
I'll get him again. Jimmy, you know I'm gone by now. He'll come looking for us. He'll kill me for this more.
All right, yo, let me get up out of here. That's it.